Shout a little bit softer now. Shout a little bit softer now. Shout a little bit softer now. 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 A little bit louder 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 now. Hey, hey. I'm an idiot, bro. Oh, whatever. It's for the video, you feel me? Real review. As I'm just getting home, you feel me? Today, we are going to be talking about Final Destination Bloodlines, directed by Lipovsky and Adam Stein. I do think this movie was quite solid. Very nice installment into the Final Destination series. Now, me personally, I do like numbers 1, 3, and 5 the most out of all the movies. But again, this was a very good installment. Before I say anything else about this movie, of course, I'm going to throw up that quick spoiler warning. For anyone who had not watched Final Destination Bloodlines in its entirety and does not want to be spoiled, as I will be talking about this movie in some detail, I suggest you click off this video, watch the movie, and then come back. It'll be here for you. But if you don't care, you don't care. We welcome you anyway, you know what I'm saying? Now, starting off with this intro, we do start off, I think it's like the 1960s, I want to say. We do meet Iris Campbell, who's not the protagonist here, but she starts this whole shebang off in more ways than one. She does. Her boyfriend has taken her to this new, like, Space Needle-like thing, right? It's called the Skyview. It's basically some type of restaurant high up in the air. If you watch the first 5 movies from this franchise, you know, in the beginning of the movie, we get that premonition, you know what I'm saying, that starts off this whole debacle. It's a bit different this time because when Iris is up on this Space Needle, whatever the hell you want to call it, we do get them initial signs that something about to go wrong. The music that's being a bit more foreshadowy when she's in the restaurant and she sees that the chefs are cooking and the flames start going crazy because they're doing the flambe thing, you know what I'm saying? You can put together what might be going wrong here, and it does, to be fair. The skyrise scene was kind of crazy, I'm not gonna lie. People fell through the glass floor, people got incinerated damn near, like holy smokes. The elevator split someone in half. That was crazy. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna throw up a strong point right here just for how creative this movie got with its skills. And it wasn't as predictable as the previous films, which I do like, but I'm not gonna say that they didn't line these up. Like, they laid these bitches up, you just didn't see it really. The reason why I think this intro is different from the other movies, well, how all these premonitions end is with the person who's having the premonition watch themselves die at the end. Iris does end up falling from the skyrise in this vision. Pretty gnarly way, if you ask me, because you got impaled by some loose metal that was at the bottom. Instead of seeing Iris when the vision ends, we're in a new woman. We're like, hold on, I thought we were gonna see the part where she kind of prevents herself from dying. But right now we're on the protagonist here, Stephanie Lewis. She's a college student, and she's actually been having this premonition, but in the form of a nightmare for a couple months. It's been knocking her life upside down, topsy-turvy type shit, you know what I'm saying? So she's really going crazy over this now because she's trying to figure out why she's getting this nightmare. Now, Stephanie is Iris's granddaughter. It's revealed in the beginning scene that Iris was pregnant at the time that she went up there in the skyrise thingy. Stephanie has never met this woman. After that night, I'm sure as anyone would, she went crazy. In the vision, her husband dies. Her soon-to-be husband dies. Of course, she stopped that, but he did die later on in life. Apparently, she went crazy. She started obsessing with how people died and stuff. Drove a wedge between her and her 2 kids now. That actually messed up her daughter so bad, her daughter being Stephanie's mom, that Stephanie's mom dipped out when Stephanie was 10. Oh my gosh. But Stephanie is still going crazy from these nightmares. She wants them to stop. She doesn't know how to make sense of them, but she recognizes the name Iris. She figures, oh, that might be my grandma. She's not able, of course, to talk to her mom about it, but she does have an Uncle Howard. Uncle Howard and his family, they kind of know what's what with the grandma here. They don't want nothing to do with her, but Stephanie does end up prying grandma's address out of her auntie. I'm gonna stop for a second. Stephanie, or Caitlin Santawana, the actress that plays Stephanie, she was acting her ass off in this opening. She was giving her a lot, bro. She really was going crazy over this. Again, she's in college, and this has been like affecting her school life. Like, she's in on academic probation now because of like how much this nightmare has like been messing with her sleep. She's been falling asleep in class and all. It's a bunch of stuff, you know what I'm saying? But she portrayed it well. You know what I'm saying? She portrayed it well. Kudos to you. I can't snap with this hand, but you know what I'm saying? You know, you get what I'm trying to do here. So yeah, Stephanie does track down Iris. When she gets to Iris's, what would you even call this, bruh? Because she lives on on a war zone map. Iris has set up this type of compound where I guess she'd be safe from death. But looking at this place, how do you not die living here? You know, that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like all these pikes and shit all over the place. This don't look up to code, if I'm gonna be honest. This should have been shut down mid-production. You know what I'm saying? Apparently she doesn't walk outside though, which I also don't get, because like how do you eat? But no, she does stay inside the main dwelling on the property, I guess. So that's what's keeping her alive all these years. But Stephanie does show up. She's being as cautious as she's possibly could be, I'm sure. Like she doesn't even let Stephanie really move when she gets to the place until she says what's what. The reason why being that Iris has somehow cracked the code behind death. They do explain a bit farther in the movie with Stephanie. Stephanie mentions that basically I can see what's gonna happen and how this could end up killing somebody. I'm not gonna lie, it's cool, but at the same time it's kind of a cop-out, because she kind of did just stumble into this ability and it didn't really, you know what I'm saying, come from anything. So Iris has basically been able to do the same thing, and that's why she's been alive as long as she has been. But she knows when she steps out after this long, she's done so. Actually, matter of fact, now at this point she has cancer, which I'm sure was a product of the stress. So she explains that the nightmare Stephanie's been having was the premonition she had way back when she was on that Skyview thing. She did stop everyone inside that place from dying, hundreds of people that night. If you know from the previous movies what saving 5 people would do, imagine what over 100 people would cause. You know what I'm saying? The calamity that would be. Stephanie doesn't believe Iris. She thinks she's kind of you know, a few aces short of a deck here, so she does try to leave. This is kind of crazy. As Stephanie's leaving, Iris gives her this book and says this is the key for your survival, and she actually does come outside. Iris tells Stephanie, if you're not gonna believe me now, watch this. Because when she stepped outside, there's a weather vane on top of her house. The weather vane got spun off, fell, hit like a fire extinguisher or something that's on the front step for some ass reason. My apologies for cussing. When the weather vane hits the fire extinguisher breaks, but it launches the weather vane at the same time right into the back of Iris's neck through her mouth. Pause. I that looked kind of crazy, but through the mouth, and her jaw was hanging off. That's why I think the intro ends right there. Of course, we do have another scene, basically the trailer for this movie, where we see Uncle Howard die in some crazy contraption, resulting in a bunch of, you know, yard tools knocking over some shit, broken glass falling on the ground. Uncle Howard steps on it, falls back, and gets his face pulverized by a lawnmower. You see that in the trailer? No surprise that happens in the movie for real. So, you know, there you go. We do get a scene though where Stephanie is explaining basically what Iris told her before she died. No one believes her. At some point they start believing her because, you know, then they all start dying and shit. And of course they don't want to, so you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that was the intro. It was a very solid intro. I think it was very nice, short and sweet, to the point. We didn't need a drawn out intro here. I love that. We don't need like an over explanation of what's happened because we've seen this before. Great decision on the pacing for the directors here. Love that. And we'll talk about a few things I liked in the movie here. A lot of the shots we had was fantastic. For a horror movie, you don't really see this, you know, much of a visual aspect. A lot of these shots were beautiful. Oh my gosh. Even the simple camera work during the scenes itself, it's just, it hits. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a nerd for this shit, so of course you probably have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. Also, I like the sound design a lot. Sound design and the score worked hand in hand, bro. What am I doing? Where am I going? It immersed the shit out of me in this film. Oh my gosh. I don't know. Something about 2025. It's like people realize that we have ears, and it'd be easier for us to be pulled into the movie if you use these bitches. You know what I'm saying? If you utilize what's going on down here. I've almost knocked my glasses off. Audio on point. On point. Loved every second of what I was hearing there. If I was in a 4DX and I was able to smell some of this shit, I don't think I'd be too happy about that, but you know what I'm saying? That'd be cool, I guess. I don't know. Another thing I do really like about this movie is going to be the casting, for one. Holy smokes. I love the cast here. Like the main cast, of course. We got some side characters that are like, but they don't really, you know what I'm saying? They're not too important. Before I say anything, actually, Tony Todd making one final appearance in this film, reprising his role from the previous movies as William Bloodworth. We actually do see here in this movie, when we're introduced to his character, that Iris actually saved William on the Skyview. Like, he was there that night as a little boy. If you think about it, without Iris, you know what I'm saying, this might not have gone this far. Or, you know what I'm saying? Nah, that's bullshit. What am I talking about? Technically, Iris is the reason why William Bloodworth knew all the shit he knew in the previous movies. So I thought that was cool. The main character, Stephanie, was so fire. She was a great actress. Freaking gorgeous. Oh my gosh. gosh, she's a beautiful woman. 2025 just been a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like we actually get bad bitches that can act now. It's the end of the Gal Gadot. I'm over her, bro. Let me preface this. I'm not a hater of Gal Gadot. Yes, I am. I don't like her. I'm sure she's a nice person. Her profession, dog shit. You know what I'm saying? I could do without. Stephanie was great. Her baby brother Charlie in this movie, played by Tio Briones, he's also pretty good. I love the relationship they have together. Uncle Howard's kids were also pretty damn great. The daughter died pretty early into this movie, so like we didn't see much from her. Eric Campbell and Bobby Campbell, played by Richard Harmon and Owen Joyner, loved the hell out of both of them, not gonna lie. I was sad when they both got packed up, unfortunately. I'm a huge fan of these people we got introduced to. Fortunately, we had to say goodbye to all of them, but you know, that's besides the point, you feel me? Now, the writing was good, right? It would have been great. The ending killed this. I'm not gonna lie. It's not terrible, but it did kind of fall apart a little bit, and then they kind of reeled it back, I guess. Another thing I did really like about this movie was how creative the kills were. Oh my gosh. Uncle Howard, we saw how he died in the trailer. Now, his daughter, Julia, got kind of wiped. For lack of a better word. I am fairly certain they cut out a scene where Darlene, Stephanie's mom, dies in the rotary door. I remember it in the trailer. It didn't happen. I was so confused. I was waiting for it to happen. I was like, oh, this is when she's gonna die right here. It didn't happen. I'm just gonna start with the ending here because there's not much else to talk about really. So now at this point, it's really just Stephanie, Charlie, and their mom who ended up coming back. So they do decide that, well, Darlene really decides that if I stay inside the compound that my mom made for the rest of my life, as long as I'm safe, then Charlie and Stephanie would be safe as well. They do get to the compound. Once they get past the gate, all hell breaks loose. Again, all that faulty wiring and shit sends sparks flying. A plant falls over inside the house, knocks the gas fitting loose. Thank God Darlene notices. It was at the last second, but she noticed it regardless. Closes the door right as the whole place goes up. And I mean the entire cabin. Even knocked over the RV they were driving in. And then Stephanie is like in a lake, drowning, basically, because she can't get her seatbelt loose. Now, Charlie does get pinned here by like falling debris. Darlene, with half her face gone at this point, like it's been burned off, she manages to free Charlie. She tells Charlie, go get your sister. I'm gonna live for as long as I can. The telephone pole holding up like half this shit fell on top of Darlene as she was saying that. She died like that right in front of her son. Charlie does free Stephanie, actually not before she passes out because she was submerged fully in water, and she comes to by him giving her CPR. Charlie says, you know what, you died and I brought you back, so this shit should be over, right? Next scene, right? Charlie's in high school. It's like his senior prom or some shit. He's all dressed up. He's ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Stephanie's happy. Charlie's happy. You know what I'm saying? Their dad, Marty's chilling, even though his wife just died. But, so they go drop off Charlie at his date's house. His date's dad is a doctor. That's how he's introduced to Stephanie. Charlie and Stephanie are waiting for Charlie's date. The dad walks up. The dad's talking to them and is like, "Oh, it's so nice to meet you too and all that. And I heard how how much of a lifesaver Charlie is over here." Stephanie says, "Oh yeah, he really brought me back from the dead. This is the doctor's such a dickhead. He's so messy for this." When she says that, he says, "Eh," and she's like, "What does that mean?" What? And he further explains, "Well, you didn't die. You were unconscious, and then the water in your lungs was pushed out. Your heart never stopped." Even with the context of how this happened, this is ridiculous to say. The second he said that, we hear something in the background. 2 freight trains come busting through the neighborhood. And I don't know about everyone else that was there, but Stephanie and Charlie start booking it, son. Hauling ass, as I would be too, you feel me? When it stops, Charlie gets Stephanie up. They dust themselves off. Like, wow, I was close. And then you hear another sound coming. One of the trains was carrying logs, like tree logs. And I guess that car had just caught up or some shit, so it still had some speed to it. So it basically jumps over the rest of the crash, and the logs crush Stephanie and Charlie. And I mean turn them into red mist. They're gone. Title card. That's the end of the movie. Oh my gosh. You knew it was gonna happen. It's happened in every other Final Destination. It's a very fun movie though, nonetheless. It's entertaining to watch. I am a bit sad Stephanie and Charlie didn't make it. Really hope they don't bring back another freaking movie. We don't need it. Like, if this was the end and they really did stop death this time, I would have been so with that. You know what I'm saying? The ending, it's okay. It's not the best. It falls apart a little bit for me. A lot has to do with that bullshit Stephanie was talking about in the beginning, where she can see what death's about to do. It's like math. It's like a puzzle. Like, she can put it together. I was like, I guess, but like, who thinks like this? My problem with it really is how quick she figured it out, I guess. Ah, man, I was rooting for those two, I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna give our overall ratings for this movie, of course, starting off with the writing and story. Now, again, it did fall apart a little bit at the end, but they did somewhat pull it together, and they gave us not a satisfying ending, but you know, it's an ending nonetheless. But for the writing and story, it being an installment in a franchise is not gonna give too many points here, but I will have to give this a 7 out of 10. Next is going to be the sound design and score. I think this is the best part about the movie here. The score was great. The sound design worked so well. They were helping each other here. So sound design and score, I'm going to give a 8.5 out of 10. Just because the score is not as memorable, but the sound effects were fire. Next is going to be the casting and acting. Love it to death. Oh my gosh. Stephanie's characters, Charlie's character was dope too. The Campbells all together, you know, Bobby, Eric, Uncle Howard, Julia, their daughter, all great. Tony Todd, come on now. Tony Todd, bro, come on, man. So for the casting and acting, 8.5 out of 10. Next is going to be the cinematography. I love the cinematography in this movie so damn bad. Oh my gosh. Like, the shots were so cool. The visuals we were getting were great. Camera work was steady. It was on point. Nothing confusing about the scenes and stuff like that. So the cinematography, I'm going to give it I'm actually gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10 too. Nothing wowed me, but you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of VFX here as well, but from how it was put together, that makes up a lot for it. So I'm gonna say, yeah, 8.5. Now for the overall movie, Final Destination 2025, I'm going to give this I'm gonna have to change my my letterbox score now, because I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. The ending was just not as fleshed out for me. That's my only problem with it. If there was a little bit more into the ending here, it probably would have been a 5 out of 5. I'm not gonna hold you. Nonetheless though, that was Final Destination Bloodlines. Next week we are going to be touching whoa next week we're going to be watching Mission Impossible Final Reckoning. Oh, I can't wait. Oof. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me from here. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. If you did enjoy the video, you could toss me one of them likes. I truly do appreciate them. They don't go without notice. Again, that's gonna be it for me from here, but without further ado, I'm gonna bid y'all a good night, better morning, all that ish, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. God bless.